if you're after a super mini, well, the options are kind of endless. You could get a car that focuses on economy, like the Skoda Fabia, or something a bit more sprightly, like the Seat Ibiza. But if you wanted a super mini that was really premium, well, outside of the BMW Mini, you were really struggling. That was until the Audi A1 came along. This here is the first generation Audi A1, and it was Audi's attempt at, well, basically going up against that Mini and providing all of the things that Audi are associated with, but in a much smaller package. So did they pull it off? Is this a small car that offers a premium interior and build quality with the attention to detail that you come to expect from Audi? Let's find out in this need to know video of the used Audi A1 Mark 1.
First launched back in 2010, the first generation Audi A1 has a few petrol and diesel engine options to choose from. The petrol engines start with the 1.2 litre TFSI that produces just 86 horsepower. This is really ideal for those people that are seeking affordability above anything else. For more power, there is the 1.4 litre TFSI engine that comes in two variants, one with 122 horsepower and a more potent version with 185 horsepower. Diesel options start with the 105 horsepower 1.6 litre TDI. This provides an excellent balance of performance and fuel economy, and so it's particularly popular among those covering longer distances. Later models also include a more powerful 2 litre TDI engine delivering 143 horsepower. In terms of trim level, well, there are several available, all of which are consistent with the wider Audi range of the time. The bottom spec, so to speak, is the SE trim, which provides a solid foundation with features like air conditioning, a digital display screen, and Bluetooth connectivity. Sport trim adds a slightly more dynamic edge with sportier seats, larger alloy wheels, and a sportier suspension setup. This is taken one step further, especially in terms of aggressive looks, with the S-Line trim that includes the distinctive S-Line styling, half leather upholstery, and larger alloy wheels. At the top of the range, you've got the Black Edition, which offers a bit of an exclusive feel with black styling details, xenon headlights, and an upgraded sound system.
When it comes to the interior of the Audi A1, I would say, well, it is minimalist Audi is probably the best way to put it. It doesn't feel out of keeping with the rest of the cars within the Audi range, but there is a lot less going on than something like an Audi A6, for example. There's fewer buttons, fewer things to do, but still it's a good setup. There's a screen at the top which hasn't got the best graphics, but it is very clear and easy to use via the controller here where your volume knob would normally be. There's a little controller for the MMI system. You've also got some nice physical buttons for the climate controls, which is always useful to have, so you're not diving into a touchscreen menu on the move when you want to change temperature. There's a couple of cup holders down here. There's also a 12-volt socket. You've got just about enough room for a small bottle in the door bin, and overall I would say that it's relatively minimalist. It's also very, very dark in here. It's lots of black plastics, but everything that is here feels of good quality and it's very solidly built. Is it that much different to some other cars within the segment that are produced by the Volkswagen Group? No, it's not leaps and bounds ahead, but it is ahead. So looking outside of its kind of siblings within the group, how does it stack up against a BMW Mini, for example? Well, it's nowhere near as fun, that is for sure. It doesn't have the huge central round screen, for example, that you'd find in the Mini, but it does have that overwhelming feeling of Germanic Audi quality. Putting me in the back of the Audi A1 isn't possibly the fairest test, but we will give it a go. I am just under 6'2", so let's be honest, I am too big for the back of this car. I could not travel anywhere. I don't have the headroom, I'm hunched over, and I've had to put the seat quite far forwards to get my knees behind it. So I would suggest that the rear of this car is probably only for very small adults or children only. Of course, this is the 3-door, so in the 5-door Sportback you will have a bit more space and it will be a bit more practical. So if you actually want to carry adults or car seats in the back, I would recommend looking at the 5-door over the 3-door. In terms of the fit and finish back here, well, once again, it's a little bit dark and drab, but the rear seats are very comfortable. They've held up very well in this model. I say comfortable if you can fit in them. You've also got some ISOFIX points at the back here as well on both seats. So if you could fit them, you could carry 2 child seats here. Now this is a Super Mini, so don't go expecting a massive boot in the back of the A1. However, it is a decent size. Now you are getting 270 litres of space here, which is considerably more than the Mini, for example, which is around 211 litres of space. But it is also considerably less than a Skoda Fabia, which has a good 100 plus litres on top. The space itself is very easy to access. There's not much of a load lip. It's quite low down, but you do have the added benefit of beneath the forced floor here, there is plenty of space where the spare wheel would ordinarily be, so you can stick some more items underneath there. On the move, the Audi A1, well, it feels like an Audi, which is probably what you want to hear if you're looking at buying an Audi A1. Because if you're opting for the A1, you're opting for it because it's an Audi. You've got to remember that this car underneath shares a platform, engines and mechanical components with other cars from the Volkswagen Audi group. So the VW Polo, the Skoda Fabia, the Seat Ibiza, underneath they are all the same car. So this car has to feel different in its Audiness, and it does. It feels very, very well screwed together. It feels premium for such a little car, and it handles and drives just like other smaller Audis. So for example, it's a slightly different car, but the Audi Q2, the kind of small crossover, feels very, very similar to this A1. There's no kind of discernible difference. It's all kind of very well built, very well put together, refined. There's a bit more noise than you would expect from one of the bigger Audis, obviously. It's not going to be as quiet and refined as something like an Audi A4. But it's still, compared to its rivals, a very kind of nice place to be. It just all feels very Audi, very solid. You've got the Audi MMI system, which is kind of very easy to use and one of the better ones available on the market. And the screen, whilst the graphics, they're not the best. The graphics aren't the best. It is very clear and very easy to use. In terms of how it feels to drive, well, it's not inspiring, but it's not designed to be, unless of course you're going for an S1. In standard form, it's, well, it pulls quite nicely with this 1.4 TFSI engine. You've got more than enough poke there when you're pulling out of junctions or coming off a roundabout or entering a dual carriageway. The 1.4 TFSI really is powerful enough. And yeah, like I say, it's not massively fun, but it is quite precise. It's very flat. You feel like you've got tons of grip, actually. It's not a car that feels a bit wishy-washy. It's weird. So it's not like, you know, it's not like a driver's car, but neither is it like really light, vague steering. It's just kind of nicely in the middle, I think, is how I would put it. And the seats are quite firm. So if you like firm seats, you'll be happy. I think the bottom cushion actually is quite soft. It's just the back is quite firm, but that's good for support. The A1 is obviously a car that is made for shorter journeys. It's a super mini. So it's made for nipping around town, going to and from the shops, that kind of thing. So it's really easy to maneuver, obviously, very easy to park. It's not built for loading people and luggage and heading off on the open road. If you want to do that, then you should be looking at a bigger car. Unless, of course, it's just you're a solo traveller or a couple, then I think you would be able to get away with that. Me personally, it wouldn't work, but bear in mind I'm quite tall, so I'm just under 6'2". So this car, for someone of my size, I would suggest it's fine. Like I could use it for nipping around in, but I couldn't spend a lot of time in here. I'm just too big. It's a bit difficult to get comfortable, and you could not fit anybody behind me. It would literally be me and a passenger. But for anybody kind of average height, or if you're a bit on the shorter side, then you won't have a problem. I think you can get comfy in here and head off and do a bit of a long journey, because like I say, it feels really kind of solid. Overall, I'd say the Audi A1 does a good job of fitting the brief. It is a small car, it's an Audi, and it feels like both. It's a good premium option for a super mini. If that's what you want, if you just want a small car, as small as possible arguably, but you don't want it to feel cheap or like you're missing out on comfort or premium materials, then yeah, the Audi A1 could be a really good shout for you. As we've mentioned, the Audi A1 shares its underpinnings and some mechanical parts with other cars from within the Volkswagen group, such as the Skoda Fabia, the Volkswagen Polo, and even the Seat Ibiza. So, should you choose this over one of them, and should you choose it over a Mini? Well, that comes down to what you're looking for, really. If you want the most fun car to drive, then you're going to go for a Mini. But if you want something a bit more practical, well, the A1 trumps the Mini in that department. What you will get with the A1 is a very premium, solid interior that is pure Audi despite its size. Thanks for watching this need-to-know used car review of the Audi A1. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to give us a like, and of course please do subscribe and hit the bell icon so you're notified every time we upload a video like this. Also, let us know in the comments below, would you go for the Audi A1 or would you just go for something a bit more obvious like the Volkswagen Polo?